Hello YouTubers, now today we're going to talk about a 00 Golf 1.4 petrol. There's a hissing noise coming from the inside of the car, and what that is the brake servo. Now we can't unfortunately film what we're going to do because there's just no room, but I'm going to explain what we've done. You have a few things on the car that works your brakes. You can see this big round fella right at the back of the engine. That's the brake servo. Then you've got the brake reservoir. Underneath the brake reservoir you've got the brake cylinder. That's what I was looking for. And then beside that, coming along here at the side of the engine, you've got the pump, which basically puts the air into the servo for you. The engine spins it around and that creates the air and puts it into the servo. We've obviously got some leaking seals in the servo, that's why the air is basically pumping out. But as you can see, there's just no room. There's going to be 4 bolts inside the car and there's going to be a clip. On this side of the car we have to take all this out, so the air filter, all the pipes, the cylinder, you have to take everything off, and hopefully we can take this out this way without having to do too much stripping. And the noise that you can hear from the inside, now hopefully this noise is coming through. And there's going to be bolts under there, and as you can see there's just going to be no room for recording. So look, I hope that helps. When we get it out we'll show you basically what we've done, and as you can see even the servo is in a horrible place. So there's going to be a lot of stripping just to get this thing out. There's not many bolts to take it out, there's just an awful lot of stripping to get to it. So when we get it out we'll show you. So as you can see, that's where the servo used to be, and what we ended up having to do was take off the airbox, and lucky enough we had enough room once the airbox was taken out. This is then the servo. This part sticks inside the car, so there's 4 bolts, and this part sticks onto the brake pedal, which was a nightmare to take off, which is this part. Now there's a plastic housing that fits inside the brake pedal, which then that ball, which is here, fits into this, but this broke taking it out. It's just so awkward to get out. And then we ended up taking off the cylinder, which was just 2 bolts, 2 pipes underneath. We had to take it off. As you can see, it's leaking everywhere. We had to take it off, and once we took it off it came out quite simple. So that's why you can see how we couldn't really film this, but it's simple enough. The brake pedal connects there, 4 bolts, 2 bolts there. That's the pipe that feeds from the pump, which puts air into this, and it's leaking somewhere inside there. And it can sometimes leak this way, you know, it just depends. But this specific one was leaking inside here. So there we go. We're going to get a second-hand one now because a new one is ridiculously expensive, and we're going to chance a second-hand one. But when you get second-hand parts, especially with parts like this, it is a risk. But that's just the way we have to do it. Right, so here we have the second-hand unit, and what we're doing to put it back in, we're going to put the cylinder on first, because you have to match. There's a little pipe or a stick like this that matches up with the cylinder. One thing to remember is this is called a double pot. There's 2 different types of brake servo. There's a double pot and a single pot. You can basically tell the difference. A single pot is a lot thinner. This has 2 chambers, hence double pot. And also, once you've done all this, we have to bleed the brakes. That kind of goes without saying. So this is the second-hand unit we're going to put in. Not only that, what you have to be aware of, this is the brake pedal, and this is the little plastic grommet that goes inside the brake pedal, which hooks onto this big ball at the end of the servo. 9 times out of 10 these break coming off, so you either try and get a second-hand one, if not just replace it with the new one. It basically fits in between there, the ball comes down through, simple enough, but be careful with this little plastic grommet. So when we get it all back together, before we bleed it, we will turn the camera back on and show you what we've done. Right, as you can see, we're all in, good to go. The only thing I would say, obviously we have to bleed the brakes. Now I've done videos on how to bleed brakes, but on this one, let's get a light. If we look down here where the light is, now you can just see a little bleed nipple there, and there's another bleed nipple just at the back, so there's two bleed nipples on the actual cylinder. You can just see it in the middle of the frame there. So you need to bleed them as well as bleed the brakes, and then you are ready to go. So look, hope it helps. Thumbs up and subscribe, and don't forget to get your hands dirty. See you for the next one.